I don't know, man. Out of a lot of stuff that I've done in my career, this ranks right up there at the top. We're winning a championship. Um, I mean, for a kid from Akron, Ohio, that needed inspiration and needed some type of positive influence. MJ was that guy for me. I watched him from afar. Wanted to be like MJ. Wanted to shoot fadeaways like MJ. Wanted to stick my tongue out on dunks like MJ. Wanted to wear my sneakers like MJ. I wanted kids to look up to me at some point like MJ, and it's crazy, to be honest. It's beyond crazy.
Were there things you had to do tonight to kind of handle the emotions of that moment, knowing that was going to approach and waiting for that basket to hit?
Obviously, I didn't handle my emotions very well in the beginning. I started 0 for 4 from the free throw line. You know, that ball was flying off my hand, and it was just, I mean, I didn't know how it was going to happen. I figured I can go out there and get 13 points at some point, but I didn't know how it was going to happen. A couple teammates asked me if I had 12 points or whatever the case may be, or 11 points, how would I like it to be? I said either a fadeaway in the post or off 2 feet, lean in, tongue out, dunk on the break. It's crazy.
LeBron, Luke just calls you a pass-first player in some ways. You always say you're a basketball player. Is there something about the scoring list, though, and Jordan on that hits it in a certain way?
It hits it in a certain way because I am a pass-first guy. I've always been a pass-first guy. I've always, since I started playing the game of basketball and was taught by my little league coach and father figure, Frank Walker, he always said you get a lot more thrill out of seeing your teammates succeed. And that's how I was taught. I was taught to play the game the right way, get my guys involved, get my teammates involved. When I was first started playing basketball, we had kids that was much smaller than me that couldn't get shots for themselves. So I would literally had to get them shots. We had one kid on our team that literally couldn't dribble, so I would get a rebound and actually roll the ball to him all the way up into the hole, and he would just pick it up off the ground and lay it in. And I got a kick out of that. So that's why it's so crazy to me right now that, that's why it's so crazy to me just seeing, where I'm at in the scoring of all-time greats in this game of basketball, because I've never been about scoring.
LeBron, there was a moment in the timeout, you spent quite a bit of time to yourself and covered your face with the towel. What was that moment like for you? And if you hadn't been covering your face, what would be the scene?
It was very emotional. Very emotional. A lot of things that was going on inside me at that point in time. I wanted to look up at the scoreboard to kind of see what was going on up there, but at the same time, I didn't want to show what was going on behind that towel. So it's just crazy. I mean, me and my best friends, this is all we talked about was MJ. All we talked about is MJ. Outdoor courts, we used to play outdoor ball, and, in the snow, in the rain in Northeast Ohio, and we all wanted to be MJ. We all wanted to be MJ, every last one of us, and it's crazy. Like my high school best friends, they text me, and they just they can't believe it. I can't believe it because we just remember walking up and down, them Akron streets with a basketball, just singing I want to be like Mike, and it's crazy.
Do you remember what season back then you wore 23 for the first time?
Say that again?
Do you remember what season in your youth you wore 23 for the first time? What grade?
I think the first time I wore 23 was my first time playing AAU ball, and that was happened to be 5th grade, I believe, and I just had started in 4th grade. I had just played 1 year before that, but I've always wanted to wear 2-3. My first year in high school, we didn't have new uniforms, and as a freshman, you kind of just got to figure it out. And what's crazy, I wore 32, and 32 was like my second favorite number because of Magic. And then I was able to move on. We got new uniforms my sophomore year, and I was able to get 23 for the rest of my high school career.
What was the last time something made you feel this emotional?
I think the 30,000 was pretty cool too. Was that in San Antonio?
Yep.
Because I did it with Wade, and Wade was in Cleveland with me, and we had shared so many moments, and to know not many people have done that. That was pretty cool to share. He was, on the team as well. We just did so much together. That was pretty cool. Obviously, you guys saw my emotions after winning the championship, and what year was that? 16. So you guys saw my emotions after that game. I don't know.
What was it most about Jordan that when you guys were playing at the park? What stood out the most to him? What made him the guy for you?
What made him the guy for everybody? He was everything. I mean, you name it, he was everything. Obviously we all saw how unbelievable he was on the floor, but his swag, the way he wore his shoes, the way he wore his shorts, with the tights hanging out, with the 2-3 on the tights, the way he wore his his calf sleeve, he folded it down so you could see the red part on the other side, the way he wore his wristband on his elbow with the 2-3. Everything. I mean, you used to see cars he used to pull up in at the old stadium in Chicago. Obviously, the Gatorade commercials, the McDonald's commercials. I used to watch a cartoon. I think it was called The All-Stars. Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, Bo Jackson, and maybe one other guy. You guys remember that? You guys are older than me, right? You guys remember that? The All-Stars? They was like superheroes, and yeah.
It was animated.
Yeah, it was animated. And they had like little action figures. They came out with action figures and all type of stuff. I mean, just listen, man. I always tell you guys, like, when you're an inner city kid from Akron, Ohio, like myself and my guys growing up, you look for anything, any lightning in the bottle that can inspire you, because you just always put up against the numbers of failing. The percentages of guys like myself, single parent household, only child, underprivileged, making it out it's not high at all. And MJ had a lot to do with me making it out, along with my mother, along with the city itself, along with the Little League coaches I had. But Mike had no idea what he was doing for a kid that was growing up, 45 minutes flight away from Chicago when he was putting in that work.
How did the context of kind of where this team is and where you guys were in that game, when you were down 15 after the free throw, did that alter what that moment in the moment was for you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, we're still struggling, and I hate that for our franchise. I hate that for our fans. I hate that for myself. I think I give a lot of credit to Alex and Mo and J3. Them coming in, having played all year, and basically giving us an opportunity to kind of win that game. And it was special to see those guys play the way they played and showcase their talent, especially on national television.
Last two questions, please.
Knowing that you have a whole school behind you, the I Promise School, and you're now kind of that leader that Jordan was for you, can you kind of just describe the impact that has on you and your message to them?
No, it's different. I don't think MJ wasn't a leader for me because he wasn't around. I didn't. My leaders was my Little League coaches. My city. MJ was an inspiration. MJ was a lightning in the bottle for me because I wanted to be like him. I wanted to aspire to be like Michael. But it's hard to be a leader when you're not around. It's like saying, is my father a leader? He wasn't. My mother is a leader. So it's two different things in that sense. But for me to be able to have a school, and for me to see my kids when I can, like I did earlier this season, but to be able to check in with them through phone calls and check in with them through videos and to see what they're doing every day, it means a lot for me to be able to be an inspiration. And that's what it's about. MJ was an inspiration to me, and it's pretty cool that I could be an inspiration to my kids in my hometown.